All right, folks, once again, it is Inside Arm Wrestling, and welcome to Inside Arm Wrestling, the home for all. Let me check my paperwork here. Arm wrestling, fitness, strength, sports, and fitness competitions. I don't know why I can't memorize that. You know, sometimes you have a blockage, and at my age, at 53, sometimes it's just not in the brain. I'll leave that to your imagination, folks out there. But hey, listen, it is the week of East versus West 12. And maybe one of the highest anticipated events for arm wrestling super matches, perhaps ever. I mean, it's hard to quantify, what the 70s and the 80s and the 90s look like outside of social media. But certainly there were, tremendous events back in those decades and before that as well, where all the world best would come together, albeit in a tournament style. But this on a super match style is a little apples to oranges. This being more of a orange to the standard Apple tournament style. This is best of 5 super matches, best of 7 super match kind of style. And you know what, folks? Hats off to East versus West. It's really a stacked card. And you know what? We went on the internet today, and certainly we've seen quite a bit of posts from Devin and Levon. But I think there were some interesting posts that I kind of want to touch on. I want to touch on a little bit of a post that came out recently, and then we're going to do kind of a pick 6, I call it, for the event. I'm going to take 6 different matches and give you my picks and predictions. We'll write them down and we'll post them for you. But if you looked at the East versus West Instagram site just recently, and when I say recently, I mean just recently, 21 hours ago, albeit we are taping for this a few days in advance, and Anthony will certainly edit this quickly, I'm sure. But interesting enough, and why I say this is interesting, folks, is because there's really some gamesmanship in this Instagram post, and you've got basically Engen, Levon, and Devin in what I'll call a limousine. I don't really have any better reference than a limousine. They've got some pretty quirky green fluorescent lights going on. And we have this video of Devin in the chair, and they are strapped up left-handed. Now, folks, I'm going to tell you why this is kind of an interesting thing for me. Devin is a very, very, very good manipulator of circumstances around him. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean in a very good way. He will garner a lot of information about his opponent in really a non-threatening but very tactical way. And in this video, they have Devin in one chair. They have Levon across from him. Engen's in the middle. Devin's got his legs up. So if you can imagine, he's leaning back, he's locked in, he's got his strap on with Levon's hand. He's got his feet across, giving him some additional leverage. And now he's pulling, right? He's pulling, he's taunting Levon a little bit, according to the video, kind of telling him, you know what, I'm gonna drain you, I'm gonna make you quit. Levon is, let me tell you something. Levon is sitting very, very comfortably. He's sitting in his chair. He's not grimacing. He's not at all fighting in a way that would make me think that Devin is putting any kind of strain on his left hand. Now, why I think this is important, and a lot of people will say, well, it's left-handed. How are you going to draw some references to that? Levon is a very bilateral lifter. He's a bilateral training athlete. You don't ever see Levon at all training with just a single arm in a lift per se, unless he's doing some pronation. We do see him do pronators, but most of the time when you watch Levon in any kind of video, in any kind of him training video, he is doing really a bilateral movement, biometrically 2 sides in everything he's doing. He's either doing curls with a straight bar or with a strict curling bar. He's done bench. We've seen him do presses. We've seen him do alternating dumbbell curls. We've seen him do a lot of movements that would equal strength on both sides. Now, in contrast, and I think it's a big contrast, when you watch Devin and his training videos, what he posts, you never really see Devin doing any kind of multilateral or multi-side type exercises. You see him doing the concentrated arm. He works it hard. He works it long. When he's focused on his videos and what he shows you, you don't ever see him training his left when he's ready to compete with his right, and vice versa. You don't ever see him training his right when he's competing with his left. So what I'm looking at, and you know what, we always do these videos with the intention of kind of, you know, prediction or general, like, maybe uncovering or investigating what's going on. In my opinion, Devin is a very smart man. And he is gauging right now in this little pull-off really the strength in which Levon has been able to return to his body. Now, why that's important, obviously when you have an injury and you're, and let's face it, folks, I mean, these guys are on whatever kind of gear they're on. When you're off the gear, okay, and your body is healing and you're not lifting or you don't have the ability to put on muscle mass, and then you go back on that gear and then you're starting to gain that strength again, there's sometimes a drop-off on strength, and certainly in terms of time to recover. And I think what Devin is really gauging in this is really what kind of strength recovery Levon has had by gauging that left arm. He knows that both of these arms are worked equally as much in the videos that he's seeing. Plain and simple. So when he's gaining on that left arm and really kind of seeing what's there, what he's trying to do is gauge maybe what those exercises Levon has been doing has done to strengthen that body part. In particular, is that riser really strong? How is that wrist feel? Does that left wrist feel good? Because if that left wrist feels really good, that means he's worked his right wrist just as well. So he is really gaining a lot of information off of this. And funny enough, again, it looks like he's training to try to separate Levon's left arm, which doesn't look as if that's going to happen. Now, could that be just, smoke and mirrors to get us interested? Maybe, maybe not. The smoke and mirror end of it could be a plausible excuse, but I think that Devin's really trying to figure out where he needs to go in this match. And quite honestly, to see if Levon is going to get tired holding him for a minute and a half, which it really, to be honest with you folks, doesn't look like he's getting tired at all. And that does not necessarily bode well for Devin. Devin's got to come in with a game plan, I think, folks, two different game plans. Number one is, what if I can't move Levon or stop Levon from moving my hand to the pin pad? I think that's the number one game plan. What am I going to do? And that's the plan B, that's the plan C, that's the plan D. Okay? And then the other game plan is, if I can stop Levon at some level, what is the timeline in which the exerted amount of strength is going to pull from me as well from him? And can I really tire him? And if the answer is no, okay, if I can't tire Levon, if I can't find that lane to slow him down, okay, obviously if I can't stop him from pinning me, I've got to find the lane to slow him down. Or do I try to explode and see if I have enough strength to pull through that hand to break that wrist, to top roll over Levon, or come inside and supinate through? Is there a lane there that actually will give me some sort of an advantage to create a different scenario in Levon's mind that now he has to be reactive instead of proactive? So I really think that this video, folks, as friendly as it may seem, as maybe a smoke and mirror as it may seem, is really a learning tool for Devin here. I think he's gaining a lot of information. And right now, today being Monday, but this video being released on Wednesday, I mean, he'll have 2 more days of really some figuring out. But he's probably thinking to himself right now in the last 4 or 5 days, where is my strategy lie? So having said that, I thought it was a very telling video, a telling post. Certainly as a strategist and a theorist, I guess, I think it tells a lot of the potential of what's going on. I do see they're posting a lot of behind the scenes kind of things, which is great. I like the humanity part of it, showing some friendliness, some camaraderie. I see one picture with the Lorette family, and then one with maybe Levon and his wife or girlfriend. Not sure if he's married or not. But certainly a great picture with Engen as well. So what that brings to me then is I'm going to bring in what I'll call my pick 6 on this event. Obviously, folks, there's more than 6 matches, but I'm going to pick 6 of the matches. I'm going to see how I do. I'm going to write them down, and then when I write them down, I'm going to go back and forth and see how I did. So on the for the sake of it, I'm going to concentrate on 5 right-handed male matches, 1 left-handed female match. There is 1 left-handed female match, so that's what we will make a prediction on. Starting with the top, Devin versus Levon. I'll be honest with you, folks. My opinion is, after watching that little teaser video, I don't think Levon has lost any strength. And I think that that's really what we all are kind of hoping for if we want to see Devin win. I think that the strength that Devin has gained since their last meeting had to be coupled with a lack of strength on Levon's end. I just don't see that this man right now is any less as strong as he was, as well as I don't see him in any way, if not stronger than what he was. So I think he's gained some strength on this little bit of injury hiatus. I think this is a very, very difficult match for Devin. And honestly, I see Levon pulling right through him to start this off and really getting into Devin's mind. And this may go 5-0, 6-0, 7-0, whatever they've agreed to on there. But I don't see that Levon loses a match unless he fouls out. I think that's really the only way that he doesn't take this victory. So I'm going to go in a best of 5. I'm going to call it 4-1 Levon. Although I really would love to see Devin win, I'm just not so sure after that video that it's not a telling sign that Levon's strength is at least 100% of what it used to be, if not more. Moving on, I know Hermes and Alazan have a big left-handed super match. I don't think it's really a match that bears a lot of interest. I think the right-handed matches are really the matches to look for. So even though I could make a prediction, I'm going to leave it off of my top 6. And I'm going to go over to Georgie versus Alex. Georgie Savetkov versus Alex Kucheka. You know what? I kind of like Alex in this matchup. He has been working quite a bit to get back into the game. Had a little bit of a layoff, has competed a couple of times. I think his strength is coming up. Obviously, as you continue to take your medicine, if you will, your gear, your enhancements, and they kick in, I think you gain stronger. I don't know exactly what Alex does or Georgie does or any of these guys do. Obviously, they do something. Otherwise, it'd be very, very hard for them to compete on world levels in today's day and age. But I'm going to go with Alex. And you know what? I'm going to go with a 4-1 for him as well. That's my prediction. Moving on, I have seen now a flyer for Michael versus Frank. Michael Todd versus Frank Lamparelli. It's an interesting matchup. I didn't know if this was going to go. As a matter of fact, we've had a couple of YouTube videos where I thought that it might not go because I didn't see an actual flyer on the East versus West side. And then a couple of days ago, a flyer did pop up. So obviously it means it's a go, at least on a marketing level. And I'm a Michael Todd fan. So I'm gonna sway this one back to the North American side. I think we take this one. I think Frank's a really good puller. Obviously, he did a number on Matt that I think Matt kind of underestimated Frank. I think Michael's a different beast of an arm wrestler. And I think all indications Michael is the favorite in this match in my books. I'm going to put this one, I'm going to go 5-0 on Michael. And again, folks, sometimes when you get past that 3 match, it's hard to predict, the last two matches, because a lot of times there's some sportsmanship. A lot of times they'll let somebody come inside. A lot of times somebody will go to the strap. A lot of times they'll give their opponent an opportunity to work and kind of figure some things out. Because even on the top end, I think once you get to that level, there is a bit of learning still to go. Obviously, if you haven't won, you really want to know where you need to go. So I'm going to go Michael 5-0. I think that's a big win for Michael to get back in the game, become relevant again on the world stage. I don't think he's ever lacked any relevancy on the social media or the North American stage, but I think it kind of gives him some return to some accuracy and legitimacy on the world stage. We're going to go with Michael Todd 5-0. We're going to go with the Leonidas versus Schoolboy. You know what, folks? I'll be honest with you. I don't think that Schoolboy loses a match here. He's just a prolific arm wrestler. Again, when you get past the 3 mark and he's already won, does it change the spectrum of the last two? I don't know. For me, he's a 5-0 winner. 5-0 winner on this one. I think this gentleman Leonidas is extremely strong. I think he could potentially have a value in arm wrestling at some point on the world stage. I just think he's there for the social media aspect. Obviously, neither him nor Schoolboy are world elite pullers at this level. They're world pullers, but world elite are two different things. And I think Alex or Schoolboy, he definitely is a world elite tested puller, and he has probably more table time and maturity on a mental end for this event. So I'm going to go with Schoolboy on that 5-0. All right, the match that I didn't like for Brandon Elselser versus Golmanoff, I'm still going to go with Brandon. You know what? North Americans are my guys, and I really would like to think that Brandon can win this one. I'd like to predict he'll win 3-2. That is my match prediction. So, Brandon, good luck out there. I'm rooting for you. Hopefully you prove me wrong and you go 5-0. I just think this is a really tough match for you, my friend, and I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping that you're there already in Turkey. You got your body acclimated to the new time zone. I think it's almost 8 hours in difference, and then hopefully you can really create a dynamic that you're well rested and ready to go. So, Brandon, best of luck to you out there. And then the last one I'm going to throw in is the women's left-handed lightweight world title. You got Fia Rysiak versus Katarina Nikashiva. I'm a Fia fan, so I'm going to go with her. I'll go with her 4-1. I really don't know Katarina's level of left-handed super match value. And quite honestly, I don't know much about Fia's recent left-handed matches. But since I'm a fan of Fia, I'm going to go with her. We're going to go 4-1. And we're going to come back next week, and we're going to see how my predictions went. Obviously, I think I'm going to be 6 for 6. I'm going to be the guru of arm wrestling picks. But, here's a great thing, guys. In the comment section, you can tell us your 6 picks. Tell us 6 matches out of, looks like 14 of them. Which 6 did you think that you could predict accurately? And tell us what that super match count will be. And who knows? You know what? Maybe we'll have a little contest in the future as to winners get a certain prize. It's always fun to do. There's no winners or losers in my book when you're at this level. They're all winners. Certainly they all can beat me in their sleep. And probably they already have. I don't know if they're really dreaming about me, folks, in their sleep. But if they were, I probably wouldn't win one. Unless I might. Probably wouldn't win the women either. So there we go, folks. Anyway, this has been another episode of Inside Arm Wrestling. I have to pull my old man here and look at it and it says, yes, this is Greg Sharp. That's me. You need to train hard. You need to pull smart. And you need to lift safe, folks. It's been another episode. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notify button. And as always, follow us on World Series of Arm Wrestling to stay up to date with World Series of Arm Wrestling news. Folks, if you like these stories and you want to see more, please hit the like button and subscribe to our page. Also hit the notification bell underneath the video so that way you're notified every time a new video comes out. And if you're on social media, specifically Instagram, go to the World Series of Arm Wrestling Instagram page. please follow it. We'll try to follow you back, but it'll keep you up to date with all of the news and events in the world of arm wrestling.